Shalom, this is Amon Ute, Tayak of Piscataway, Sophia Spiritual Light, the American Miriam, and I'm here to have a very direct discussion about myself, really, and how it is impossible for me to get out of this situation that I'm in by myself. And what does that mean? When all this stuff started happening to me in March, I didn't really go to people and say, "Oh, I need help with this, I need help with that." I mostly said to my family, "Okay, I need y'all to help me. I need y'all to step up. I've done a lot of stuff for y'all. I'm going to need some help." And that's fine. But what it seems now, because I'm kind of stalled out on my situation. It's stalled out, meaning I'm not making any progress forward. I'm not going backwards necessarily, but my progress forward is not really the way that it should be, the way that I expect it to be by now, with all the stuff that I'm doing. So, um, Spirit told me to try something different, and this is extremely uncomfortable. But I think that this is something that it's it's it feels like a setup for how things have to be done within the community, right? So I'm a Hierophant, right? I'm a one of these religious leaders. Okay, that's my energy. That's my cards. That's in my readings on myself. I'm a Hierophant energy. Okay, um, I have double Hierophant energy actually, which is pretty incredible. So one of the thing about the Hierophant is that, um, or it sounds so crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna I'm not gonna censor myself. One thing about the Hierophant is that the Hierophant, the preachers don't take care of themselves. What do the preachers do in the church, which I think is completely unethical? They take the money from they do shakedowns. They shake down the parishioners to do their stuff and whatever, right? This is what they do. They go to the congregation and they say to the congregation, like I once heard a pastor say, you want your pastor flying around commercial? Your pastor needs their own plane. And I was like, you gonna shake your whole church down for a plane? Golly. I mean, couldn't something better be done with that money besides a plane? Like, okay, so now that I've made a joke about it, the truth is I cannot get out of this by myself. I have to come to my followers. I have to be obedient to the way that the priestesses would have operated, and I have to operate in the same manner. Now, in my case, I don't feel like this means that I have to come to y'all every week shaking down, begging for money because X, Y, and Z, but I'm going to make a ritual around it, meaning I'm going to make it a positive exchange of energy, right? Um, and what is the exchange of energy that I'm offering for people who can support me? Um, every month I do two videos, two private meetings, right? This month I'm going to do three private meetings. We're going to do one for the new moon, one for the full moon, and we're going to do a masterclass on pendulums. If you've taken the my pendulum course, or if you would like to take my pendulum course, you can go onto my website, and it's also in my description box. We're going to do a masterclass on pendulums. Um, and I'm put together some information that's not in the course. So if you haven't taken the course, then this is not going to cover anything that's in the course. But if you have taken the course, this is going to be some new information, some additional information, and I'm going to record the conference call and I'll add it to the course. So, and we always do our new moon and our full moon. Along with the new moon and the full moon, if you don't know, sign up, of course, for the newsletter and you'll get the reminders and the links. I put together a PowerPoint presentation with all the information that's relevant to that moon. What I'm also willing to do is I have the Spirit Intelligences workbook. Um, for those people that don't have Bardon's book and don't want to necessarily get into bed with him, you can order the Spirit Intelligences workbook, and you'll get a digital copy and a physical copy. I refer to both. I use both my digital copy and my physical copy. I'm going to update it, so it probably won't go out before the end of the month, but you can order it, and they'll probably go out around the 1st of January, and then you'll have a copy. Or you can order Bardon's book. My book is a workbook, so you can write in it. It's got places, space to put notes, highlight things that are relevant to you, stuff like that. It's a workbook. Bardon's book is not a workbook. It's a reading book. It's a textbook. Mine is a workbook. And I have some new charts. I'll do a new introduction. If you already have a copy of it, I'll send you a digital copy so you can refer back to that when I do the updates. When I do the updates, if you buy a physical copy, when I do the updates, I'll always just send you the updated book, um, because I'm not selling the information. Um, and so if you need a copy, let me know. I have the link to the individual work pages that I did that you can refer to. That's kind of easier for printing. So I have sent that out to people. So if you need that, let me know and I'll send it to you. Okay. Um, of course, I do my videos. Um, I've given everybody the flag. Anybody who asked me for the printable version, I've given you that. Um, I'm reconnecting with Shi Wang Mu. That's the Jade Empress. That's the Jade Emperor's wife. That's another form of Dinah. Um, I tried to record a video yesterday twice on her, and it would not allow me to. And I think this is the reason I have to do this part first. So we'll have more direct ways for people to connect with the energy that goes along with finances and stuff like that. I shared a video with everybody, and I'll share it again on this trading and investing that we're doing with the Forex. Um, if people want to learn how to do that, we can set up a call, or maybe I'll set one up and see if anybody is interested. People register. Maybe I'll just do it anyway and go over how to do this kind of trading. It's Forex, so it's not crypto, so I feel much more comfortable with that. Um, but I'll share the video again. I'll link it here in this video so people can take a look at it. So if you're feeling called to learn how to do some other kind of investing, it's really easy. And it's not that I'm not making money off of it, but I have stuff that's immediate. So, and also I feel like I'm not going to make any money off of it until I do this part, which is get into my Hierophant mode. So, that's another thing that I'll do. The last thing, um, is that I still want people to go through the process of getting their name copywritten, learning how to do the whole secured creditor process. We talked about that here briefly before, and I launched it, and then the energy wasn't right for me. But the launch date is still, it was a really good date, so I wanted to secure that date for that particular business. But our goal is to have 100 people in our group learn how to do the copyright process, then the secured creditor process, then the bill pay process, and learn how to do your taxes. This is the practical side of anybody who wants to take back the kingdom, set up their family so that they can be sovereign, not a sovereign citizen. I don't know why people think I'm a sovereign citizen. That's a slur to me. I'm not a sovereign citizen. I'm changing my status. So for people who want to change their status, who want to get in the proper status, which has nothing to do with citizenship, that's a totally different issue. This is about getting in the proper status as being the one in charge of yourself instead of letting others be in charge of yourself. This has nothing to do with citizenship. This has to do with status. So for people who want to get into the proper status, our goal was to have 100 people do the copyright process. I'll link to that in the description. And then that's just the beginning, because then after that we have a private club, because none of the stuff that we do can be discussed publicly, and you can't do it by yourself. And everyone else who's teaching it is not teaching it with the end goal being you being in charge of yourself. And it's not that it doesn't cost a lot of money to do, it costs a lot of time. So if you're a person who has a time available to go through this process, you can set aside the next year or devote yourself the next year to correcting your status. In about a year, you should be in a good position, but it's going to take about I'm not even done, so I'm not even gonna say I don't know how long it takes. I know it takes at least a year to do the first part. The other part, I don't know how long it takes. I'm not even done. It'll take you less time than it took me, because the way I had to find out was third party, round and round, investing a lot of time and waiting on, the spirit to give us this part. So, but anyway, you can go over to the website, 644online.com. I would like to start a class where we start to meet every week or every other week to work on the paperwork that goes along with all of the processes in March. So from now until March, you'll be collecting your information, getting it put together. You don't have to wait until March to what in the world? You don't have to wait until March to you got to start before March, because in March we're going to start like having meetings. But it's a lot of work that you can do without having the meetings, because we recorded videos on every step of the process. My lips are so ashy. We recorded videos on every step of the process, and so as soon as your copyright is done, then you can start on the next step of the process, which is correcting your status with the bill payment processes. So those are all the things that I have invested myself into to offer to my followers over the last year. This is all stuff that I've been working on over the last year to offer to the people who are in agreement with my message. Okay, so this is my goals for December. Number one, if you are unable to provide any sort of financial assistance, I will take prayers. That's why I'm going to tell you what my goals are, what I need. Prayers are most important. Prayers will do more than anything. And I really mean that. The prayers of my people are most important. That's what I need more than anything. And just to get that out there. That's the most important to me. So, but there are physical things that I need too. So, this is so crazy. Okay. The first thing is, alright, so my house doesn't have an oven I can use. I can use the cooktop, but we don't have an oven. And we have a toaster oven, and the toaster oven it's not working. So I need a new toaster oven, so that I can, so that we can eat. Second is, I have heaters. I have central heating, but in Florida, the houses are not sealed properly. So my old man has done as much as he can to seal off the house so that the heat doesn't get out and the air doesn't get out. But oh my gosh, here's my sister. But anyway, the air is still getting out and my heat is out of control. My heating is out of control. So I need some heaters that will I can set to a temperature and cut off, because the central heating will just never it'll never be the temperature. And that's what I noticed. Um I'm like $300 off of my rent. I'm not as worried about that. And all the first two things, they're on an Amazon wish list, so I'm going to have the link to that in the description. Um, and there's some other things on there that would be helpful. One of the most important things on there that I didn't put on my list here was I need some methylene blue, so I can stay sharp. I feel okay still because I still have a little bit left, but I definitely need some more. Then I have to fill the gap on utilities, because even I can't just run heaters all day. You know, it's going to be some kind of cold. It's kind of just like an issue. And then I'm gonna have to go back to Maryland. I need to reschedule my appointment to go to the um I need to reschedule my appointment to go to the Native American archives, and then I have an event that I need to go to up the road. So I need to have money to go up the road. Um, those are the most important things. So what I'm going to do is every month at the first of the month, we're going to go over what's what I've done, what I've provided, what things are useful. It's also going to help me to keep a archive of my videos and stuff that I've done over the last month. I didn't do it for this month. I'm going to start it the 1st of January, go over the videos. That way I have a digital archive of the work that I've done, even if they remove the work. And I'll go over what I need finances for. So I have the Amazon wish list. If you can get a couple things off the wish list or one thing, I have some really, really inexpensive stuff on there. It's, the toaster oven. Nothing is like more than $100 on my wish list. Um, and what I'll do is, once I'm in a position that I'm not like struggling so much, then I will start to, figure out what I can do to help other people. But right now, I'm not in a good position. And better to go into hierophant mode than to go into the opposite of hierophant mode for me, which is Five of Swords. Five of Swords would be shaking y'all down, doing a shakedown, saying, hey, y'all owe me this. Y'all got, no. Nobody owes me anything. It's my responsibility as the Hierophant to tell you what I need so that I can get it. And then it's the responsibility of the Most High, the mother, sister and brother, whoever, to work on the hearts of the people who are in agreement with my message to get me what I need. That's the circle. And I haven't been taking my place in the circle properly. I did it last month, kind of, but it was like I was pressed. This month, I'm trying to get ahead of it. Like, this is not really ahead of it. Like, my toaster oven is still working. It's not that it doesn't work at all. It's that it won't turn off properly. And so everything is burning when I cook it, because I don't stand around and look at that thing. And then, like, it's not like I don't have any heat. It's just that it's costing me $17 a day, which would be $500 a month, which is more than half of my rent. So that's really not sustainable for the whole month. And it just started getting like chilly. So that's what I need. The dollar amounts are not high. The stuff is not high. None of it is that expensive. It's what I'm asking is for people to sew into me as a Hierophant, so that I can continue to do the work that is necessary. And even if you don't, I'm doing the work, because I've been doing it for over a year now, almost 2 years now, since I started doing my prayers in July of 2022. I'm almost 2 years in. And I'm not doing a shakedown. What I'm doing is stepping into my power, my position as the Hierophant, and saying, okay, parishioners, okay, friends, this is what I need. This, I can't do this without you all. It's not just the money, it's the prayers, it's the support, it's whatever. I can't do this by myself. And so I'm not going to pretend that I can either. That's really a huge part of this. So anyway, I would say dollar amount altogether, like maybe if I had $500, I could make sure my rent was paid, put some money on my utilities, take my next paycheck, spend it towards the trip I gotta make up the road, and then I would be less stressed. And then if I got the toaster oven, the methylene blue, the heaters, that would take my stress level down, and then I can focus. So you don't have to actually send me money. You can go to my website, buy any of my consultations. All my consultations is me working. My goal is to get 13 consultations or charts or readings, and to I also would like to have 13 people doing the new moon and the full moon thing with us. And so, if that's something that you're interested in, but you don't know exactly how it works, I did a video for the Gemini full moon that goes through what the meetings look like, and I've done the follow up videos. I'll put that on a playlist, and I'll just post it in my community pages so that you can see what it is we're talking about. And maybe I'll do another introduction video on that so you kind of understand what's going on, because it is a little bit, complicated or whatever. So, um, this is very hard for me to step into this position because I don't like it. I'm from the land of grifters, okay? I want you to understand that. DC is the land of grifters. You've never seen a grifter till you've seen a man and a woman, like at my church, who drive a Jaguar and live in a 5 bedroom house, huge giant house with no children, go and take money from people like my grandmother to cook food for them so they could have people coming to their church. Like, you've never seen grifting like that. My grandmother paid for so much stuff out of her pocket. I can't even tell y'all. So y'all never seen grifters to this is a woman who was living on a pension from her husband. She didn't have a pension because she was a house cleaner. So you've never seen grifting like that. No, these people knew where she lived. They knew how she lived. They knew everything. They never gave her nothing. They never gave her nothing. I'm from the land of grifters, okay? Just understand that. I'm from the land of grifters. This is very difficult for me. Not because it's what I don't have. It's because I'm from the land of people who do this for fun. They see people suffering, but they know that in order to maintain their power, they have to take money from people. And they do it because, and instead of giving it back to the people, they don't. They don't ever try and say, oh, let me give something back to these people. No. So I'm from the land of this. We have so many mega churches in my county. I've seen them shake down $10,000 from government workers. Just call them up. You giving me $10,000. You giving me $10,000. I've seen this with my eyes. This is very difficult for me. But I feel like since I'm not moving forward, this is the thing that's the most difficult for me to do. This must be what I have to do to move myself in the right direction. So that is it. So again, you don't have to send me money. I have the coupon code TIAC. Put it in on any of my consultations to get you 30%, 33% off of all my consultations. That is also helpful. Like I said, I have a goal of doing like 13 charts this month, 13 readings. That would be really good. I want people to sign up to do the copyright. That'll be in my description box. Just this is not something I'm doing by myself. We all have to put the work in, and it's all joining our energy so that we can actually take back the kingdom. I've been working on that ever since I heard that was the goal. I have not stopped. I'm laser focused on it, and we're at the finish line with that. Believe it or not, we're at the finish line. That's why I have to overcome this hurdle, which is asking people to support me as the Hierophant. It's a very difficult hurdle for me, and hopefully on the other side of this, it'll be easier. It'll be better. So shalom, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.